more about this 24-year-old killed in a plane crash in Lincoln County last night.
The Lincoln County Sheriff identifying the pilot as Cole Madison, and Celeste Springer joins us live from Lincolnton. Celeste, you got the chance to speak with a good friend of Cole's.
Yeah, so the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department says that they started work early this morning, and I spoke to one family friend of Cole Madison who says, and also owns this plane hangar himself, and as a fellow aviationist, he says Cole Madison was a great person, but also a great pilot. And the Sheriff's Department also says that he was flying above his father's property while he crashed around 5:15 last night. Sadly, they say his father was outside at the time and saw the whole thing happen. The Sheriff's Department also tells us the plane crashed on the bank of a pond on the property. Friends shared pictures and videos of him doing what he loved. A friend and fellow aviator says even though there was a large age difference, he loved having a new pilot in town to hang out with.
For a long time, I was the only one here doing any flying. So now, it was just great, having somebody to fly with. Everybody knew Cole. And, of course, when you fly, it gives you a high profile, everybody like me. Oh, yeah, Gary Ward, he's that guy that's flying around all the time. But it was that way with Cole, too.
The FAA is still investigating what caused that crash, but coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll hear more from Gary Ward about the devastating call that he received last night, letting him know about Cole Madison's passing.
Certainly a loss for that community, especially that family. Celeste, thank you very much. Also this afternoon, protest unfolding as we speak in Louisville, Kentucky, as a grand jury there makes a decision in the Breonna Taylor fatal police shooting. The jury deciding that none of the officers involved in Breonna Taylor's death will be indicted for homicide charges, including murder or manslaughter. The Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, said the officers were justified in their use of force after being fired at by Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker. The grand jury did charge one of the officers, Brett Hankerson, with 3 counts of first-degree wanton endangerment. The counts involve endangering Taylor's neighbors. Much more news ahead after we have a quick look outside on a mostly cloudy afternoon. But Riley, it feels good out there.
Definitely does, Richard, and awesome look at some crepuscular rays shining down from the clouds right there. So we do have some clouds with us, but not bringing any rain until we get most likely Thursday night and then throughout the day on Friday. Staying below average again this afternoon, staying shy of 80 degrees, hanging in the 70s, and that's the case for most of us around the region, anywhere from the mid to upper 70s. Louisville did get briefly up to 80, but now cooling off back down to 78. Any plans this evening looking good to go? We're just going to hang on to the clouds. Temperature-wise, we should be close to 70 just after sunset, and then lows tonight, not going to be quite as cool for us. This is thanks to the cloud cover overnight. That should keep lows generally in the upper 50s by tomorrow morning. But here's a current look at what's left of Beta, still bringing severe weather across Louisiana and Mississippi this afternoon. This rain is heading our way. We'll take a look at that forecast in just a little bit.
Sorry, we're having some audio difficulties, Laura, with your mic there, but what we're looking at here live out of Washington, D.C., people paying respects to the nation's longest-serving female justice, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, lying in repose just outside the Supreme Court. Mourners have been paying their respects, including the Vice President you see there, former Vice President Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, members of Congress, all stopping by today. At a private memorial service this morning, she was honored for her work pursuing equal rights for all Americans.
She was not an opera star, but she found her stage right behind me in our courtroom. There she won famous victories that helped move our nation closer to equal justice under law, to the extent that women are now a majority in law schools, not simply a handful.
On Friday, she will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol under that great dome, the first woman ever to have that honor. Meanwhile, the battle is on to fill Justice Ginsburg's seat. President Trump has said he'll announce...
Okay, important work. Every single person counts, as you see with those numbers. Thank you, Kennedy. Updates in the shooting deaths now of protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin earlier this year. A federal civil rights lawsuit has been filed against Kyle Rittenhouse, Facebook, and 2 militia groups. Rittenhouse is the 17-year-old who shot and killed 2 protesters and injured another during protests demanding justice for Jacob Blake. The lawsuit filed Tuesday alleges Facebook failed to delete 2 militia group pages. The lawsuit seeks damages for all 4 plaintiffs, as well as injunctions preventing Facebook from violating its own policies regarding hate speech and violence. Taking a look now at COVID cases a little closer to home here across the two-state. In Georgia, more than 1,500 new cases, nearly 100 more deaths. The state's total nearing 310,000 confirmed cases. In South Carolina, more than 600 new cases and 25 more deaths. The state's total sitting over 138,000 confirmed cases.
And another company announcing phase 3 trials for a vaccine. It only requires one dose. It does not need to be stored in sub-zero temperatures. Johnson & Johnson aiming to enroll up to 60,000 people in this trial. If the vaccine is safe and effective, they expect the first batches to be ready early next year. It's the 4th vaccine in the U.S. to enter late-stage trials. Dr. Anthony Fauci expressing some cautious optimism.
We feel strongly that if we have a combination of adherence to the public health measures together with a vaccine that will be distributed to people in this country and worldwide, we may be able to turn around this terrible pandemic.
And they're not wasting any time. Millions of doses of the vaccine already being produced so they can be distributed just as soon as possible after a vaccine is approved.
A new report shows calls to poison control's hotline have skyrocketed during the pandemic. According to Safe Kids Worldwide, there's been a 70% increase in hand sanitizer exposures alone. And among all cleaners, bleach is accounted for the largest rise on those calls. Experts say all household cleaning products need to be stored out of your kids' reach, out of sight, and to keep everything in their original containers. That one is a big one. Okay, are you still working from home out there? Staying on the computer too long can impact your health in several ways. We're going to show you the best ways and best devices to prevent Zoom fatigue.
And we are keeping a close eye on what's left of beta. That's going to bring up our rain chances later this week. We'll have a look at that full forecast coming up.
If you're still working from home, you might be spending hours at your desk doing a lot of Zoom calls, answering emails, and that can cause some problems with your health.
Yeah, Zoom fatigue is a real thing. Our consumer tech reporter, Jamie Tucker, shows us a few things you can do to keep working from home from becoming such a pain in the neck.
No one expected to be working from home for this long, and now people are suffering from Zoomitis or quarantine screen, and it really is a pain. I spoke with a chiropractor, Dr. Alec Draglin, who tells me he's seeing new patients who are having aches and pains they've never had before.
The two biggest really conditions we've been seeing with that have been neck-related issues and low back-related issues as well.
Part of the problem is people are staring at a laptop sitting on their lap or on a desk positioned below their line of sight. Their head is tilted down for hours. But simply raising the computer might cause their arms and hands to be up. One thing you can do is get a standing desk, a desk that raises and lowers at the touch of a button. Another thing you can do is get a Bluetooth keyboard. Place your laptop on a few books, which not only makes your Zoom calls look better like this, but prevents tilting your head down for hours. Then you can use the Bluetooth keyboard at a comfortable level on the desk. Dr. Draglin tells me no matter how you sit at the computer, don't stay in that position for too long.
It's the lack of changing positions, or it's the lack of movement that's really causing some of the biggest issues that we've been seeing. Regardless of where your camera or your laptop or your computer is positioned, as long as you're making an effort to change that, it should go pretty well.
Dr. Draglin suggests this. Every 15 or 20 minutes, change your position. Maybe take a lap around the room. We're not moving like we were when we were in the office talking to our coworkers, and we have no idea how much longer we'll be working from home. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
And the doctor says taking many breaks from the computer, that helps with aches and pains. And they say it also helps you be more productive when you are working. So take a break. But I really like that suggestion of getting the computer up there at eye level.
Yeah, it makes your video look better. But the problem with those breaks is if they're to the kitchen, then you're going to have a whole other set of problems.
That's a
with the
different segment
waistline.
with a different doctor.
It's difficult to balance that.
Yep.
Okay, taking a look outside over Aiken, some cloudy skies. And Riley, you say we are expecting some rain here soon.
Yeah, these clouds are definitely a precursor to the rain heading our way, most likely late Thursday and then throughout the day on Friday. So we're still looking in the clear, at least for the next 12 to, say, 18 hours for the most part. That heavy rain threat now working its way across Louisiana, Mississippi, even portions of Tennessee now. This is what's left of beta, now a post-tropical disturbance, but it is going to continue to keep us fairly cloudy through this evening and tonight as well. And we're starting to see some of that moisture work its way in. So low temperatures tonight, not going to be quite as cool for us. We We should see upper 50s, but not expecting the mid to low 50s that we've been enjoying the past several mornings. We should remain dry at least through Thursday afternoon. Can't rule out maybe an isolated shower Thursday afternoon, but most of us are looking dry. The rain chances are really going to start to bump up anytime after sunset Thursday, overnight Thursday, and then into Friday. Now, Friday during the day, that's looking like our highest chance to see showers and downpours. And some of these possibly could produce up to an inch of rainfall in isolated areas, but overall, just not expecting the type of impacts that we saw last week. Our rain totals are expected to be much more manageable for the most part, and by this one particular model, this is the GFS, this keeps everybody below an inch, and most models are on board for this type of scenario, so we're not really expecting much in the way of flooding rains or anything like that, but we've been very dry the last week, so rain finally back into the forecast for us. Remember this 20% chance for your Thursday, that's mainly for after sunset Thursday, so not expecting much rain while the sun's up tomorrow. Your wettest day over the next 5 definitely going to be on Friday, and then for the weekend, good improvements to it. Not expecting to see too much rainfall either Saturday or Sunday. Looking westbound out of the gateway to Grovetown, you can see these little rays of sunshine poking down through the cloud cover. That's what we call crepuscular rays, so pretty cool sight out there. 77 degrees currently here in Augusta, so getting a little bit warmer than yesterday, but not by much, and we are just going to continue to see warmer temperatures over the next few days. Upper 50s tonight for low temperatures, keeping those cloudy skies through tonight and most of the day tomorrow. We should be able to see the 80s again by your Thursday afternoon, and then that's going to be the trend heading into the weekend, only warming up for high temperatures back into the mid to upper 80s Saturday and Sunday. And even into early next week, we're looking to stay at least seasonal, but most long-term outlooks heading into the middle of next week and the start of October looks like another cool down heads our way.
And we're okay with that, Riley. Thanks very much. You might have noticed the Google homepage looks a little different today. You're going to love the story behind it. That's after a quick break.
I'm a Dare Burrows, and I approve. Rubik's Cubes are beyond my grade level as it is, but imagine solving one when it is this small. That is a nano Rubik's Cube. This is the world's tiniest one, unveiled today in Tokyo. Each side is less than half an inch. It weighs less than a tenth of an ounce. It's about as much as a penny weighs. But it's not a small price tag. For some reason, this thing is $1,700.
Wow.
Yeah. But variations of the cube will be on display in Tokyo tomorrow through November. So if you have an extra $1,700 lying around.
Yeah, or tiny fingers.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why is it so expensive?
The airlines are struggling right now during the pandemic, and they're trying to reel you back in with some pretty good deals. Check out this one from Southwest Airlines, offering what they're calling buddy passes, and here's how it works. You book a flight by tomorrow for travel before November the 15th. Okay, that's where you start. If you do that, you're going to get a pass for a friend to fly with you for free for a trip that will be in the future from January the 6th through the end of February of next year. Again, you have to buy that first ticket by tomorrow for travel before November 15th. Okay, good deal. So if you check out Google right now, you're going to notice this drawing on the home page. This is the winner for the Doodle for Google contest drawn by Sharon Sarah, a 5th grader out in Texas. It shows a group of 6 friends with various skin tones, hair, fashion styles, but they're all holding hands.
And the contest prompt this year was I show kindness by, and Sharon says she came up with the inspiration from some people not wanting to be her friends, so she wanted to show how important it is to judge your friends based on their character, what's on the inside. And Sarah beat out submissions from tens of thousands of students all across the U.S. She wins a $30,000 college scholarship. Her school will get a $50,000 technology package, but 5th grade, that is a great little sketch there.
Some art skills.
Yeah, I love it. Very sweet.
We stayed shy of 80 again this afternoon, but warmer temps are on the horizon. Another look at that 7-day forecast coming up.
Being a new mother is a lot to handle. Understatement of the year, but especially for this mom with a litter of 17 pups. We're going to tell you about it in just a minute. This new mom has her work certainly cut out for her 17 one-month-old puppies. My goodness, to give you some perspective, a Georgian Shepherd litter is usually between 3 to 10 puppies. So Valley, the mom, gave birth for 18 hours.
Yeah, the pups are a handful, but short-haired Georgian Shepherds are becoming rare. So they are happy to be all together for now after they go out to new owners. But Riley, check it out.
You pups there. And we are expecting to stay generally dry tonight and most of the day Thursday. Friday's going to be our wettest day this week to where we are expecting scattered downpours. For the weekend, not looking too bad. Most of us should stay generally dry and high temperature is going to be a little bit warmer, reaching into the mid to upper 80s. Heading into next week, we're going to stay warm Monday, Tuesday, but another cool down late in the week.
I want to take you live here, but before we head out, this is Louisville, where protests are starting to unfold after the judge's ruling today in a case that has gained national attention. Breonna Taylor shot and killed in her apartment by police. They were in the wrong apartment, and as you can see today, the protests are unfolding now that they have decided that the officers involved will not be criminally charged.
Kind of a fluid situation here with our live cameras on the scene. We're going to keep an eye on this and be watching. There is a curfew tonight in Louisville as they try to keep peace in that city. That's going to wrap it up for First at 5, but there's more news ahead. News 12 at 6 o'clock after a short break. See you then.